Well, there was great celebration and victory was declared after numerous trips to Albany demanding funding for ERAP. Tenants in NYCHA, housing advocates went by the busloads to demand this funding after NYCHA tenants had been cut out of the initial phase of ERAP when it was distributed to tenants and tenant landlords in market rate apartments, leaving NYCHA tenants on the bottom because they were not the priority when it came to the distribution of this money. So after recognizing this horrific error, which left thousands with rent arrears they couldn't possibly pay, demands were made that the governor include ERAP funding into her budget. And when she agreed, there was great celebration and also relief because tenants believed they could now finally get their rent paid and no longer face being evicted. But then there was silence. No one was being told when their rent would be paid, and no one was being told how much of the money funded would go direct to NYCHA tenants having rent arrears, or who in fact would be covered. It's a strange outcome, particularly after having marched and demanded this funding while taking several trips to Albany in order to get it. Well, several weeks ago, in a recent interview, Lisa Bober-Hyatt, the new CEO of NYCHA, explained. She told of the amount of rent arrears currently owed by NYCHA tenants and told of the amount of ERAP funding NYCHA would be getting. So out of all the money applied to the budget by the governor, let's see how much is actually going to NYCHA tenants having rent arrears and see if it covers the need. Or will they still need to seek and apply for one-shot deals from social services in the hopes of covering the rent?
An issue I asked you about last time that I assume hasn't changed very much since then is the rent arrears that have really stacked up during the pandemic and are still kind of sitting out there. I think the number was close to $500 million when we talked last time.
Yes, and actually it rose to slightly over $500 million, but we were very fortunate and are super thankful to our state partners. They provided us about $165 million to deal with those rent arrears. At the moment, we're working with OTDA to operationalize getting that money to our tenants. And I really believe that once we see that money come through, once we also connect our residents to other services like one-shots, people will get back into the cadence of paying rent.
So out of the $391 million put into the budget for ERAP, only $165 million will be going to NYCHA tenants having rent arrears. And the total amount of rent arrears is over $500 million. If I were you and owed back rent, I would run and not walk immediately to the Department of Social Services and see if I can get a one-shot deal. Do not wait for them to work it out with the Office of the OTDA, which the new chair of NYCHA states they are currently doing, attempting to get the money distributed. Because the fact is, $500 million in rent arrears with only $165 million being applied to it means a whole lot of people are not going to get their rent paid, or at least not through this ERAP funding.